Díobh gach duine. Hello,
Yes,
hello. Welcome to our Agallamh Baill le Martin, so the member interview of the month. And this month I am joined by Martin. Martin, cunnas atá tú? Gohúntach. So I've been joined by Martin, who is a member of GROW for how long now, Martin? Are you
8 months.
a member?
How
many?
8 months. Yeah.
Go away, brilliant. And yeah, so I thought I'd get Martin on. We actually haven't chatted too much, myself and yourself, so I'm keen to learn a bit more about you, and of course for everyone else to hear your story and hear what you have to say. So I suppose we'll start it off nice and formally and easily, and we'll say Díobh, and would you like to say a little bit about yourself?
Well, it's Mr. Martin the Brew on shot. Tommy saying that way, or Tommy Coney my clear. So I live in Dublin with my wife Nancy. I'm married, she's from Costa Rica. I've been married for almost 8 years now. I have 5 brothers and 3 sisters, and one of my brothers died in 2008, Thomas. A few years ago I had to retire from my work due to medical condition I have, which involves I have speech difficulty, coordination and balance. But since that, around that time, in 2019, I took an interest in reading books. And since then, I started reading 14 books since then. Now, I'm now part of the local men's shed in Upgrove, near in Dublin. Great bunch lads. So with that is coming there. We talk, going me up, we talk, sit down. Some of us great skills. Some builders, bricklayers, workers, wood chippers, carpenters. And a lot of just, we can't do a whole lot now because coronavirus has put a hold on everything. Now, for example, I've been on two field trips to them.
Two field trips, okay. Where were they to?
So I've been to 2 field trips to the tenant buildings in Henrietta Street in Dublin 1. They were built in 1720s for the builders. They were built in the streets of Dublin. The house all the time. There could have been 6 or 7 families in the houses. And then went on a field trip with Shane Ross into Doyle Eden from either. That's nice.
Brilliant. So you've said a lot there now, and there's a couple of things I want to ask you about. Yeah. So the first thing you said, your wife is from Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah.
And do you often visit Costa Rica?
3 times in Costa Rica. 3 times. 3 times.
3 times to Costa Rica. Yeah. Brilliant. And does your wife have any gaeilge yet?
No. I've asked her later.
You'll have to get a couple of words out of her soon. Brilliant. So you said that you finished up with work because of health issues, but then you got into reading. And what kind of books were you reading there?
Well, I think the first book I read was Bobby Sands, Unfinished Song. Bobby Sands, Che Guevara, autobiography. The Che Guevara is the Motorcycle Diaries. And Young Rebels, Kings of the Wine, Marty and Me, and The Broken.
Okay.
I'm bringing reading now to Fly the Airs at the moment, which is a very difficult book to read.
Absolutely. I've never read it myself, but I believe it, absolutely. But fair play to you. Fair play. Well done. Yeah. And so I suppose then, you've done a lot, and you say you're with your group in Dublin and all of that. But I suppose the question I have to ask now, you finished up work, you started reading, you got interested in all of that. Where did Irish? Why did you come back to gaeilge? Well, come back to it, did you? I presume you might have done it in school, did you?
No, I left school at 14 years of age.
Okay, and did you have Irish at any point before 14?
All I knew was the name Martin Rose have none. That's all I knew.
Yeah, just introduce yourself. So if you left school at 14 and all you could say was Martin and Sanam Dum, why did you decide now to come back to it? What jumped your interest there?
We were down in Dingle Harry last year, down in Dingle. And we were in a restaurant having something to eat, some food. And there was a young couple and a woman, an elderly woman sitting beside us eating food. And they were talking English, and then all together just switch over to Irish straight away. Yeah. And it's so easy it happened.
Yeah. So you just did you get a bit interested or jealous, or what would you say you got there with them?
Yes.
Absolutely. I was in Dingle myself 2-3 weeks ago, and it's a beautiful place, and you would hear gaeilge all over the place. So so you heard the family, and then what did you do?
Just carried on, but it was nice to know, just to hear people talking. And we had to back to Dublin then, and no one double talked Irish. We had to go to the rest of Ireland to listen to them talking Irish. We should all speak Irish in this country. It's our first language. It's our heritage.
Absolutely.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and yeah, you do. Like, I will say there's pockets all over the country of people of Irish speakers, and you do find families in Dublin as well. But I will agree that you have to kind of look a bit harder, especially where you are in Baileach. So you came back from Dingle. Did you buy an Irish book, or did you start Googling things? What did you start doing there then?
I went online on Facebook, or not Facebook, say the internet, Google. I was seeing 1 or 2 sites there in Irish and all that. Well, it didn't look a whole lot great, that good to me. Then I came across one. This one I was I met seen Bitesize Irish on YouTube. And who was on Siobhan? And and she's right, going to count 10, and she went, hey, do, mux, bow, say, cat, broker, are, quick say, cup of tea, shocked up, shave on booked, and they that kiss to the warm cake.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended. That's it. So easy.
So Siobhan's poem then to bring back into Irish and into Bitesize.
Back to get me interested again, yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So so you started 8 months ago then. What could you tell me what your journey of Irish, your journey has been like with Irish so far?
How do you mean, what way, like?
Like, you started 8 months ago. How do you feel? Do you feel like you've progressed? Do you feel like how do you feel like do you feel confident? What do you feel about your language learning journey, we'll say?
I can walk that road and say hello to someone comes to the heart or walk into the pharmacy and say, you're gaeilge good. There was an incident last Friday. I went to the local pharmacy here where I live in Oak Grove or Rafarnham, and again came and said, hey, it's gaeilge good, Martin. And I thought it was oh, no news today, no. Well, I knew. It's just like that. I knew today. I couldn't react as quick enough.
I know.
That's fantastic.
That can take you by surprise, though, definitely. Especially if you're not in the mindset. You're not expecting someone to greet you like that. But isn't that great now? Next time when you go into the pharmacy, you will be able to definitely reply and say Níl scale or Tá scale or Tá I'm sure Gahumtach or whatever. That's brilliant. So yeah, that you get to use it in your everyday life now.
But it's fantastic. You can sit in the post and you say, well, like someone speaking on gaeilge beside you on the bus, you can repeat it. I speak on gaeilge too. It's small little bit. But it's only bits by bits, but it always comes in. It comes and you always keep in mind. It's always in the head. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, as you say, you could be sitting next to a random person on the bus. You hear they have Irish. You automatically can chat to them. You automatically have a topic of conversations to start with them, be it in English or in Irish. If you're, it doesn't matter on your level. Yeah, that's brilliant. And how do you feel then, I suppose, about, yourself learning? Do you find yourself doing a bit of Irish every day, or do you do it on certain days, or do you leave it to the weekend? How do you work out your schedule for learning Irish?
I tell you, I was painting here the bedroom here in the house here when actually going away to Jamie, and I got panicky because I thought I couldn't walk around my schedule for Bitesize Irish because I always keep it in the evening. I always keep 2-3 hours spare in the evening time to work on Bitesize Irish. Now, if I'm going to put stuff into my queue, it's the laptop. And then that's me done for the evening. I can't, but if I couldn't walk around, I go, but I'm always on Bitesize Irish. I'm always learning. I'm always keeping stuff in. I'm always learning something about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. And that's good. It's a good way. Certain people work different ways, don't they? I know people work better in the morning. I personally am like yourself. I prefer it in the evening. For any of my learning, any of my extra bits that I need to do, I leave it for, I think I'm a bit more bright in the evening time rather than early morning. So, Gahumtach, Mahu. So, then all in all, you're a GROW member. And as a GROW member, obviously you have, well, for those who are watching that don't, maybe they don't know, it's obvious, but you've access to the Course E, which you can work on your own, but also then you've access to the online community, Pobble, and you're in with all of the other GROW members who are also, you're all different levels. And, you've myself, I do the little bits every day. I keep in touch. You've Siobhan doing her live call every Tuesday. How have you found that? Do you find that having a community with people, how do you find, for example, the classes with Siobhan?
I think when I first started doing the Zoom thing, Emma, I got a bit panicky because I was never used to it. and because I suffer this thing with my speech, that's something I feel that it looked me through. And if someone asked me a question, I could call it quick like that.
Yeah.
I got panicky and sort of backed off. But now I can feel that because I'm getting used to it, I know bits of voice, and I can preach her, and I can reply to the answers without him on about it. And there's no panic of him in that sense there, like a panic.
Absolutely. And I love the Bitesize community because people are coming from all walks of life, and there's no, there's no pressure from others, and because of course you're going to have nerves when you're going online into a group for the first time with people, and you feel that, your speech isn't, what if you're not fast enough and things like that. And of course, things that slip ups like that happen, then you get panicky. But from the times that I've been in class, even myself with you all, or filling in for Siobhan, I was even a bit nervous because I knew that you were all friends and I was new in the group. So I'm happy to hear that you've gone from strength to strength. And I even, because I watch everything myself on Pubble and everybody chatting after I love the buzz after the class with Siobhan, after the live call, and you're all answering questions and asking, and I love to see it. So I've seen you go from strength to strength, and I've only been with Bitesize for a couple of months, but I presume over 8 months you started at a lower level and now you're up at a certain level. So Mahoon, well done, because it is difficult online to do. I suppose, go on.
I tell you, I'm doing a thing now. It's called a torso mock. Starting now.
Torso mock, yeah.
Of course, I came off the sort. I just finished Cardiog's plan, that module, the whole module. And boy, I type everything up on my computer and have it all input in the computer on 1 page. So I can 5 pages there down the moment. So this one torso mock, and I kept to the very first page and all the introductions, 3 dialects. And I know was saying I came out this sort of cracking pronunciations. I know one had a little video and all that. That was grand. I went down. I just watched that a little bit. I went back over, and I can now think of from me the gaeilge, all the phonetics and the speech and all that. And I got these little diagrams of how your throat works and all that, and the works all throat. And that's what we're doing in 2 books as well. I remember asking me 2 books by Ray and Nicky. But that's fascinating me so hard, tell you.
Brilliant. Yeah, that is a good one. Like, because you say yourself you have a speech impediment. How have you found, pronunciation and things like that? Do you struggle with it, or do you find it okay? Or are you more aware of, how you I
find it once more pronounce words in Irish easier than I can in English. We're talking English.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I find it talk faster in English than I would have Gaeilge Irish.
Yeah, I suppose it's good practice for you, because you feel sometimes that you might speak too fast, but when you're going with Irish, you have to, especially beginning out, you have to think a little longer, you know what I mean? So I agree with you. That's very interesting though, that you find it easier in Irish than you do in English. Well, you're made for it. You're born for it. So Martin, you're definitely born to speak gaeilge. The last question then, just all in all. Would you have any advice for anyone maybe, starting off or thinking about starting off learning Irish, or maybe thinking about Bitesize, or thinking about even buying their first, it doesn't have to be Bitesize, buying their first Irish book, but they have a bit of, fear. Maybe someone else who's watching it might have a speech impediment like yourself, or someone else mightn't be so confident with, getting online in a class. Do you have any advice for anyone?
I was an average wreck coming here this morning. I was up half the night last night there. I was thinking, what is head going to say? There's one on this computer here. So it's just panic. Don't panic about talk. It's just trying to make my confidence. So it's just talk and make a conversation with people. I mean, the stewards are great and the students are super. Brilliant people. It's just for all ages. No, we're not just Irish people. Could be French people, Spanish people. In France, speak French. In Germany, speak German. In Spain, speak Spanish. It's speak Irish. Australia.
I agree with you. The best, just don't panic. And, there's no time like the present. Absolutely. So, yeah. Good, Martin. Well, gur mila mahagut. Gur mila. And if anyone has any comments to leave below, we'd all love to hear them. Or if you're worried about starting Irish or anything like that, don't. Anyone can do it. And,
only me.
Yeah. Good, right. Wonderful.
Bye bye.